organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
On this edition of Daily Iowan TV,
bomb threat. Hear what was really in a suspicious box found near Kinnick Stadium today.
And facial reanimation, an interview with the family of the recipient of UIHC's first surgery to bring movement back to a young girl's face.
And in sports, get ready for the latest from Hawkeye Sports in your Monday edition of the Whip Around.
We'll have that and more.
Daily Iowan TV is just getting started.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for being with us on this Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Stephen Duran.
And I'm Ian Martin. After a string of heartbreaking events over the past week, here's perhaps some positive news for your Monday. The University of Iowa student hit by a car this past weekend while visiting Purdue University has woken up from her coma. Police believe a drunk driver hit Ruffolo while she was in West Lafayette this past weekend. Apparently, she awoke for the first time on late Sunday night. A post on a donation page in her name reads, quote, Nicole opened her eyes last night as they were weaning her off medications. She was told that she was in an accident and was mad, end quote. The post continues that things are looking up for her, although she'll continue to be heavily monitored. The link to donate and support Nicole and her family with expenses is below, and so far the page has raised nearly $9,000 in her name.
A Johnson County Metro Bomb Squad vehicle was called to a site near Kinnick Stadium Monday afternoon after a report of a suspicious package. According to Chuck Green, UI Director of Public Safety, the package was no danger to the public. He said, quote, we don't have any report on explosives. There were none detected whatsoever. The area has been cleared, end quote. The box, which was sent from India, was initially delivered to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics before a UIHC employee moved the box to a loading dock near Kinnick. The contents of the box were eventually revealed to be some tea and a greeting card.
Police are searching for a suspect after an alleged armed robbery early Monday morning near the Gatsby's convenience store on 1st and Muscatine Avenues. A victim said he was approached by two males, one white and one black, who appeared to have a gun. Police have not disclosed exactly what was stolen, but asked that if you have any tips to call the number below. The Iowa City area Crime Stoppers are offering up a $1,000 reward for a lead. In some better news, police believe they found the suspect, the second of two suspects in an armed robbery on Lynn Street last week. 24-year-old Montreal Ware is now charged with 4 different felonies, including first-degree robbery and first-degree burglary. Police already apprehended the man believed to be Ware's accomplice in the robbery at the 221 North Lynn Street. Nicholas Garner of North Liberty also faces 4 felony charges.
The Visiting Nurses Association in Iowa City, a business in town since 1949, is set to move. The VNA is currently on the southwest side of a town near Highway 1 and Mormon Trek Boulevard, but the group is moving into the Sycamore Mall near Kirkwood. The VNA provides home medical attention, but the new location will centralize their operation. According to a project specialist for the VNA, the group is excited about owning its space instead of renting it. She added that the move will save them almost $45,000 per year.
A 15-year-old girl from Utah made a visit to the UI hospitals to undergo a procedure that would leave her smiling.
When she was 2, Natalie Wright developed a brain tumor.
Second surgery that I had when I was 4, it damaged the paralysis on my left side face and couldn't swallow for 4 years.
But through a family friend reference, Natalie and her family traveled from Utah to Iowa to undergo her second facial paralysis procedure at the UI hospitals.
Which was taking part of a muscle from one of her leg muscles, moving it up to her face, sewing the artery and the vein together so the muscle can stay alive, and then sewing the nerve from that muscle to the end of the nerve graft that we put in. So eventually, when this starts working, that facial nerve on the working side is going to give her strength to the muscle that we put in there so she can smile again.
After 2 procedures done by Dr. Henstrom and 6 months of healing, 15-year-old Natalie will finally be able to gain control of the left side of her face.
Giving a person a smile back lets them communicate without even having to say something that they haven't been able to do so for forever how long they've had it.
And smile she will, one thing Natalie cannot wait to do.
I think that it's definitely boosted my confidence and that I can, if I can share on the outside what I feel on the inside.
Chelsea Brown, Daily Iowan TV.
And coming up on Daily Iowan TV, Facebook in Iowa. Hear how the World Wide Web's most popular site is soon to have some business in the Hawkeye State.
And in sports, our Monday evening whip-around crew is on location and ready to go.
But first, we'll throw it over to our own Megan Tickner, and Megan, this week finally seems to feel like spring.
Yeah, the forecast is looking like a typical but exciting spring-like week. Starting Tuesday morning, we'll see an 80% chance of rain with a temperature around 43. Moving into the afternoon, the rain should still be coming down, and Tuesday night, that chance for rain will lessen with the temperature staying consistent. Looking ahead to the extended forecast, both Wednesday and Thursday, the temperature should be in the high 50s, and Thursday with sunny skies. Friday, the high will be 68 degrees with a small chance for rain. The weekend shows cloudy skies but high temperatures. So make sure to get outside this week and enjoy the nice weather on the way. Well, that's all for me. Back to you guys.
Now let's take a look around the state of Iowa. Facebook is beginning to make a huge investment in the Hawkeye State. The Des Moines Register was the first to report that Facebook is the company building a $1.5 billion data center in Altoona, Iowa, about an hour and a half west of Iowa City. Mark Zuckerberg's company won't be the only one in Iowa when the data center is built. Google built a $1 billion data center in Council Bluffs, while Microsoft has 2 locations for different purposes in the state. The Daily Iowan spoke with UI computer science professor Ted Herman about Facebook coming to the state, and he said it's not as much of a job generator as people think. However, he added, these companies being in Iowa does help the UI computer science program recruit potential students.
Taking a look around the world, the Boston Marathon bombing suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was charged by federal prosecutors while in his hospital room on Monday. He was charged with using a weapon of mass destruction to kill, a crime that carries a possible death sentence. The charges came directly from the Obama administration, who wanted to prosecute him in federal court instead of trying him as an enemy combatant. Tsarnaev was charged with using and conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction officially. He is likely to face state charges in connection with the shooting death of an MIT police officer.
And Monday is the 43rd annual Earth Day, a day that highlights the need to protect our environment. Earth Day first began in 1970 when U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson reacted to the damage caused by an oil spill in Santa Barbara, California. The Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies suggests doing things like drinking from reusable water bottles, using reusable shopping bags, turning off lights when they don't need to be used, and planting trees to help the environment look like a better place to live.
Well, Stefan, Earth Day, not necessarily everybody's favorite or most notable holiday, but do you do anything to celebrate?
Well, I noticed today at our apartment we didn't use the lights, so I don't know if that counts.
Even if it's accidental, still counts, so you celebrated Earth Day.
Well, I guess so. And now let's turn to our sports, and our Annie Costabile is in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio to give you more on a big weekend for some Hawkeye Olympic sports. Annie?
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio for a jam-packed edition of the program. We talk a little golf, our whip-around crew is out in the field, and Chelsea Brown is standing by with a full report on an impressive NCAA championship showing for the University of Iowa gymnastics squad in Happy Valley over the weekend. So with that, let's waste no more time. Chelsea, how about JD Reeves' Gym Hawks?
Hey guys, I'm here outside the field house with your latest update on the Iowa men's gymnastics team. This past weekend, on Saturday actually, they competed in the NCAA championships, which has been their first appearance since 2006. The team placed 5th overall, and their highest ranked event was on the rings, which led to 3 Hawkeyes qualifying for the event finals. 3 of your Hawkeyes placed top 10 in the rings, including Anton Grishayev, who placed 7th, followed right behind by Javier Balboa, and William Albert, placing 10th and topping out the top 10 for the Hawkeyes. Balboa also earned 6th in the all-around with a score of 85.65, earning All-American status along with Anton Grishayev. It's a great season for the Hawkeyes, finishing 5th, and we look forward to what they bring next year.
The Gym Hawks weren't the only team in action for the Black and Gold over the weekend. A lot happening both on the diamond and for the UI track and field teams who participated in the 14th annual Must-Go Invitational under the lights just a few days ago. For more on all of this weekend's action, we'll kick it to our Monday evening whip-around crew who are in the field and ready to go. Our own Lauren Moss leads things off. Lauren?
Hi guys, and welcome to your Monday version of the Whip Around. I'm Laura Moss, and I'm standing right outside the track and field complex where both teams had a pretty successful weekend. They snatched up a total of 12 titles in all. The men snatched the top 3 spots in their 100 meters, while the women snatched the top 2 spots in their 100 meters. Now they're going to be traveling to the Drake Relays this weekend in Des Moines, so we're going to hope for a successful weekend again. And now I'm going to whip it over to Alicia.
Thanks, Moss. The Iowa softball team headed to Ann Arbor this past weekend for a 3-game series versus tough competitor Michigan, who is ranked number 9 in the nation. They were competitive their first 2 games, only losing by 2 runs. The first one, 5-3, and the second one, 6-8. But they lost their momentum throughout the weekend, losing their last game Sunday 8-0. They'll return to action Tuesday for a doubleheader versus Illinois. Now we'll stay on the diamond by tossing it to Alyssa to hear about the Iowa baseball team.
Alyssa Bergamini here at Dwayne Banks Baseball Field, where the Hawkeyes did not play here over the weekend, but they played their 3-set series in University Park against Penn State. Now, Friday's game was postponed due to rain, so the 2 teams played a doubleheader on Saturday. The first game, the Hawkeyes fell short to the Nittany Lions, losing 8-7, but the second game, they came back strong, winning 5-2. Now, Sunday's game, sophomore Eric Toole went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, but unfortunately that was not enough to keep the Hawkeyes in the lead, and they lost 7-4. The Hawkeyes will be back here tomorrow playing against Creighton. That does it for our Monday edition Whip Round. Back to you.
More Hawkeye sports coverage coming from the links. The most impressive showing. How about Stephen Ime and the men's golf team who captured its first tournament title of the season? The Hawks led the Boilermaker Invitational wire to wire, sharing title honors with the University of Louisville after a 54-hole score of 14 over. Ime earned co-medalist honors after closing the tournament with a 54-hole score of 5 under. Unfortunately, the women's squad couldn't match the men, finishing in 10th place at the Lady Buckeye Spring Invitational in Columbus, Ohio. The Hawks carded a final team score of 88 over through 54 holes. Senior Christy Cardwell pacing the Hawks in that one. Unfortunately, for one member of the team, a simple oversight cost her 36 shots on the final day of competition. UI sophomore Shelby Phillips should have finished the Invitational in 7th place after an extremely impressive showing for the Hawks, but a mistake on her scorecard had her shooting a 40 on the 18th hole instead of her actual score of 4. The error dropped her to 70th place overall. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have on today's show, but a whole lot of Hawkeye football on tap throughout the week as we ramp up our coverage with the NFL Draft and Iowa Spring Game, both coming up quickly. Ian and Stefan, back to you guys at the desk.
And Daily Iowan TV is the first place to see what's going to be in Tuesday morning's Daily Iowan. First, read about how Iowa City residents participated in a Bike to Work Day.
And find out how local food banks are adjusting to rising prices. Well, that's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.